This one here behind me is a future small electric Volkswagen. It's called ID Live, but probably will end up being called ID1 or ID2, depending on the shape. So they are planning for an ID1 in the Polo size and an ID2 of a T-Cross size, more like a SUV. So this one, 58 kilowatt-hour battery, means 400 kilometers or 250 miles of range. You know, the ID3 is available also with a bigger battery, but since this one is a smaller car, it can reach the similar figures than with a smaller battery. And you can see here the retro styling, rectangular styling in the front. Nice retro logo, big one, illuminated in the front. If this one will be allowed in Germany, not sure. In the US, probably yes. But then again, such small vehicles might not come to the US at all. Or do you want such a small Volkswagen in the US? Then put it in the comments. You can see this does not have a real exterior paint. They use wooden pellets to give a natural coloring. So they use less chemicals for the paint, so to speak. So no traditional paint, to be even more sustainable. And this also a theme about this vehicle. They want to improve sustainability even further now. And this, of course, a very good and likable approach for this vehicle. Well, I like that they finally went for the retro design. I hope it will stay this way, because the ID3 is not kind of this retro design. This one is now an even more rectangular. Really love the design looks in the front. What do you think? Shall they bring this car into production? Of course. Now let's take a look at more details. 4 meters and 10 or 161 inches is the length here, and you can see interesting shoulder and the paintwork itself. It really feels very interesting. So I love this new approach. The roof, by the way, and the top front, this is made from PET bottles. It looks kind of soft, actually. Yeah, not sure if this one will come into production. Yeah, maybe like a convertible roof or something. That's very interesting. Impressive C-pillar here as well. So the car overall is very, very short, but will have actually space in the interior of a compact vehicle. Acceleration figure around 6.9 seconds from around 230 horsepower. But interesting is, so far the MEB, the modular electric building platform, has rear-wheel drive. This one here, however, will be planned as a front-wheel driven vehicle. So also looking forward to test drive that, of course, when it comes into a final production stage and also for the final naming. Even more interesting, by the way, the rear. So the same light scheme we saw in the front will also happen here in the rear, where we have, you know, basically this seamlessly integrated layer and the lights are behind it. This looks really, really fancy. And the same VW logo we had in the bright scheme in the front is then here in the red scheme in the rear. Top speed is planned for 180 kilometers or 112 miles an hour. But even more interesting is the pricing. This one's supposed to hit the market in 2025 for around 20,000 euros. And this, of course, would be a game changer to have really an affordable small EV on the market from a mass manufacturer. Taking a look at the interior now, lounge atmosphere already in the rear, and we see a lot of fabric materials or there's microfiber surfaces, also animal free, and really nice here also then the matte wood touch. So that looks rather living room alike, and also a high floor mat right there. This kind of Rolls-Royce style. And also, once again, theme about this one, recycled materials, reusing things, less chemicals, and so on and so on. Here also with a nice fabric insert at the inside of the doors, next to capacitive buttons here, for example, for the window levers. And this whole vehicle has frameless doors. You can see it right here. Not sure if this one will come into reality, but very interesting approach nevertheless. And here you can also see at the inside of the doors, look at that, this non-paint, I would call it that way, also goes through the inside. And hardly ever have we seen such a concept, and I think it's really impressive. And why not? I mean, it's kind of like a wide structured vehicle. Looks a little bit ceramic-alike or something, but definitely for a change, why not? It looks really fancy, I think. Here now the front interior with this Yoke or Yoke steering wheel. Is it Yoke or Yoke? Yeah, it depends on the definition, I guess. Like Tesla, we've seen that, and yeah, very interesting. They also went for that. And even more interesting is, you can see you have this projection there in the front. This is a cinema on the inside, and you can actually also fold the front seats all the way to the, to the front, and then you have this lounge atmosphere, or have a 2 meters interior or 78 inches. 2 meters or 78 inches long and on the interior. Or you can maybe make a big cargo area out of it in another version. So this also leaves you a lot of possibilities. Oh, lower part, again, this pause and play buttons for the throttle and for the brake. We've seen also with the ID3 very interesting and funny ideas. So it is kind of reduced to the max, this interior, and I think it's a very interesting approach. They're making this car either to a cinema or, you know, of course, with the gaming console, for example, when you have some controllers, or maybe use the steering wheel or something. So definitely two very important things about this car. Reduction in the design, that goes more in the Tesla direction, but also about the entry price, this 20,000 euros or dollars, that will be the game changer. So, of course, it's a concept car so far, but if this one here comes close to an ID2 or ID1, I think it could really be a game changer for the EV market. Oh, and by the way, the wheels, 20-inch, so quite massive for such a small vehicle, but since you have this rather prominent rectangular design, the wheels don't look too big at all. Interesting. Well, and indeed it is a convertible, so if you pull these zippers here, you can actually also remove the top. Here's it in a very manual way, just to have a little bit more fun. And by the way, you see here this, you know, the projection. It can of course be retracted, then the dashboard goes down, you'll have a head-up display, and in the middle part you will not have an infotainment system, but just you put your smartphone. And yeah, well, sometimes I thought about that. You say, you know, Google Maps is the best service most of the time anyway. You just put your smartphone there. Everyone does that. So you could also think about, hey, let's reduce to the max. Don't spend billions in infotainment systems that are slower than your smartphone anyway, and just use your smartphone. This is also this minimalistic concept we see here, especially, of course, when this cinematic screen there is retracted. The already existing EVs by Volkswagen are the ID3 and the ID4. See these videos.